Hey guys, Dalton here, CJ, aka CJ. Doing a video for you. This is my second video, along with my intro, talking about my gear a little bit, talking about what I use when I use it, and the different baits I use on it. We'll start with this one. This is a 7-foot medium light tournament series. It's the classic edition with that old green that we used to see our grandfathers use, with a 7-to-1 gear ratio lose reel speed spool. I think it's part of the American Hero series, and it's a 5 bearing system. This one I generally use solely. I use this one solely for finesse fishing, worms, plastics, craws, tubes. I generally stick with that with these guys, just for the simple fact of, I don't want to burn I never really burn baits. And when I do get a fish in that thick, heavy matted cover, I want to get it out of there real quick, and the 7-1-to-1 will do that for me. I use spider wire fluorocarbon, 15-pound test on here. Like I said, the fluorocarbon, one of the things about fluorocarbon I really like is it's invisible in the water. We're going to go over that in another video, but I don't want to get too much in it, but keep in mind it's invisible in the water for you. So moving on, we'll go to my next one. This one right here is a Berkley medium heavy 7-foot, and this one is my jigging rod, my jigging and my deep crankbait rod. I have 50-pound spider wire braid on here. I'm a big fan of braid. You'll find that out. I use it with my jigs because when I set the hook on a fish, I don't want it to be able to break off, and I want to be able to get through that thick matted cover. And I love braid for that reason. This on here is another loose 6-4-to-1 speed spool. I believe it only has 1 bearing system in there, but it still gets the job done for what I need it to. It's still pretty fast. One of the cool things is I love jig fishing. This is a football jig on here. Love it. I have a ton of different jigs in there. Swim jigs, football heads, shaky heads, all kinds of jigs. And you'll find that out real quick about me that, I'm not against jig fishing whatsoever, and I love it. Like I said, 7-foot medium heavy with a 6-4-to-1 loose loose. It's considered a speed spool on there, and it has 50-pound spider wire braid on here. And this is also like my crankbaits, my frogging rod. This is the rod I use. My second to last rod is a Abu Garcia Black Mass. This is a 6'6" medium action. This one I solely use for spinner baits, buzz baits, and also chatter baits. So any kind of reactionary bait that you use early in the morning, this is the rod I go to. Still 15-pound fluorocarbon. Really like it. It's a graphite rod. Really done me well. I've had it for a while. One of the spools, one of the deals is actually bent on it. From an accident. Accidentally, I was fishing, had one on, and bam, accidentally stepped on it, but it still gets the job done for me, and it still does me very well. This rod right here, this setup here, you can use a 1/4 ounce to 5/8 ounce weight on a lure, and it can take 8 to 15-pound line, and I use that 15-pound line very religiously. Great rod set, rod and reel setup. You can get this for $60. I believe at Walmart. This is where I bought mine. I think it was about $60. Abu Garcia is a really good brand. Check them out, guys. Make sure this is a good starting rod, especially if you're starting with bait casters. But bait casters are good. But what would a co-angler be like if you don't have a spinning system on here? This is a 6-foot light action old Metallica XT series. I can't read. Harold Emily Signature Series. This is an older one. It's a light cast. I use this more for my weightless, wacky worms, flukes. I'm planning on getting another one of these guys and doing some drop shotting but I have done a little bit of drop shot on this, but I'm going to get a little bit more medium action rod for this. I plan on getting a 7-foot rod with this one and just putting the reel on there and setting it up. Great action. The tip's very sensitive. I've caught plenty of fish on wacky rigs and weightless flukes that I couldn't even tell you about. So, sorry about that, guys. That's my phone. That's my setup. Now, I know a lot of you guys are wondering, that's only 1, 2, 3, 4. There's only 4 rods. What the hell? What I like to do is, I generally take 3 of these. You're not going to take all 4 of these like this out to the lake. You're just not. Most people aren't. They don't want to carry that. Becomes more of a pain, especially if you're walking up hills and you're just going to get pissed off at yourself. So I generally break it down a little bit. One of the things that you'll notice about me is I'm always trying to keep my tackle light. If my backpack's completely filled out, I'll bring the baits that I think I need that day and be done with it. So, like if I know the fish are running deep, I'm gonna take my medium heavy rod. If I'm fishing early in the morning, I'm gonna be taking this one. If I know they're gonna be if they're gonna start out finessing, I'm gonna take this guy right here. That's pretty much it on it. If I'm drop shotting or doing weightless, I'm gonna go like this if I know they're on the water, top water. But it's really on concealing your gear, keeping it small, keeping it compact. So when you're a co-angler, you're only allowed to take maybe 1, 2, or 3 of these, depending on the angler you're with. So generally, I like to take 1 or 2 of my bait casters. If it's 3, then I'll take my spinning action with me. If I can't take that with me, if I can't do that, I like to generally most of the anglers I've worked with, they'll let you take 3. So I'll usually take these 3. This one's just in case of emergencies or as a spare. I use that more for my kids than I do myself anymore. These 3 right here are my bread and butter. This is what I catch most of my fish on. This is what I usually use for fishing. Like for instance on this one, I've got to tell you guys, the gear ratio on this is still a 6:4:1, so it's fairly fast. So I still burn the baits a little bit with it, but my thing on it is I use a little bit higher gear ratio because you can slow them down. You really can. You can slow these things down. So generally, if I'm fishing close to open water, if I'm right on the docks and I know they're right there, I'm generally going to take this guy. I'm going to take the chatterbait, throw it out there, reel, and then set the hook when I get one. Spawning, I like to go with these 2. April, May months, spring, almost towards the beginning of summer, I like to use these 3. When summer starts getting thicker, you'll see me switch this out to a spinner bait or a heavier chatterbait during the summer, and I'll go early mornings and throw it deep. Trying to figure if I'm missing anything. These 2 were actually bought at Walmart. Just remember that this rod and reel was bought at Walmart separately. The reel on this one was bought at Walmart. This one right here, the reel on this one was bought at Walmart. I think it was like $60. The rod itself was actually bought at Academy. So generally, really depending on what I'm doing today, is really going to depend on the rod I do. Well, that's pretty much it. My next video, guys, stay tuned to it. Like I said, I usually do 1 or 2 a week. I might do 3 for the first week, and then I'll slowly cut it down and do about 2 a week for you guys. I'm hoping I can get a camera soon, a GoPro, so I can show you guys when I take these out, me catching fish, or showing you techniques that are good for it, even if we don't catch them. With that being said, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you continue watching, and we'll talk to you guys soon. God bless.